stuff. But we had three primary goals for this new media center as we build it. Number one, and our overarching goal, was simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. We really wanted to make this new media center simple and easy for site visitors to view media resources, and easy for editors for church staff to add them. Flexibility was our second goal that we had in mind. We wanted the new media center to display and function well on any device, whether it's a desktop, a tablet, or a smartphone. And we also wanted it to be flexible enough to handle however you want to display and sort your media. And our last goal here is publicity. We want to make it easy to find and share your church's media, especially with keeping social media in mind as social media becomes more and more prominent. So those are our overarching goals, and as I go through this demonstration of the Media Center, I'm going to refer back to each one of these goals and how we believe this new Media Center accomplishes these, and in particular how some of the tools we put together are going to be a benefit to the churches that we serve. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm going to go to our Media Center page, and I've set up a demo Media Center, and we've landed right on the home page. And again, our overarching goal here is simplicity. So you'll see there's a tiled approach to our Media Center. Images can be associated with media items as well as with different series or groupings. And this home page, again, in an effort to try and keep it simple, right at the top, we've got the 4 most recent messages or most recent media resources you've placed in your Media Center. So it'll be easier for a site visitor when they come to your Media Center, boom, here's your 4 last items they can jump right into and view. Underneath it, we have placed all of the series in this example. You can group by whatever sorting you choose, but the default is by series. And the series are here, and view as many series as you want. In this case, I have 6 displaying. And then also at the bottom of the home screen, there's a View Archive Series button. You have the ability to create an archive, so you don't have one master page that scrolls infinitely with all of your series. So you can archive these, and a site visitor can easily jump back to an archive. And then last but not least, here at the top of the screen, the Media Center is keyword searchable. So within a description, you can place a series name, a date, a speaker name, any criteria you want, and you can search the Media Center by that criteria. So for example, while I'm here, say a pastor in my church is named Ben, and I want to find all the resources by Pastor Ben. I'll just type Ben in here and hit enter, and the series image is going to show right here on the left, the series name and all the specific media items that he has spoken in. So it's a great, even visual search that we've put together. So I'm going to jump back to the home screen, and there are primarily 3 screens in this new Media Center. I've just reviewed the home screen, again, where you've got your recent media and your series. The next screen, let me jump specifically to a series, the series screen. So I'll click here. And the series screen is pretty straightforward. Again, simplicity is what we had in mind. We've got an image of the series right at the top, followed by the series name and description, and then all the messages in that series. So a site visitor can click on a series, find all the messages there, and then simply click on the one that they want to view. So in this case, each of the messages has different images associated with it, so the images display. I'm going to click on one of these, and this is going to take us to the third screen. The last screen in the Media Center is the actual media page itself. So this particular resource has got video associated with it. So of course, the video player is right here at the top. But you can also associate audio with a media resource. So I'll click audio, and you've got that same image that appears, but now just an audio player underneath. And then notes, if you want to associate a PDF of your sermon notes or a Word doc, or even link to like a Bible references website, you can do so here under the notes button. So right on the media page, someone can easily sort through the different forms in which you make your media available. Underneath it, there are social media icons here where a site visitor can say, hey, I really love this sermon, this meant a lot to me, or this video was great. This was, maybe it's your youth group and they did an outdoor activity or an event, they want to share it with their friends, click right here on the Facebook link, for example, and there's a little screen where you can share that media resource on Facebook or on any other social networks of your choice. And then, of course, down at the bottom, you've got the other messages in a given series or in a different grouping. So those, again, are the primary three screens that make up the Media Center. Again, simplicity was our goal here. Keep it simple so site visitors can find what they're looking for, come to the home screen, bang, click on your recent media, or jump to the specific series that you want to watch or the specific grouping. I'm going to jump next to our second goal, flexibility. We wanted to make sure this Media Center is as flexible as possible, can be displayed well on any website, in any format, on any device. So a couple questions that we wanted to answer there was, can we make this Media Center look good on any website? And the question you might have is, hey, will this Media Center look good on my site? As you can see, it's primarily image-based, so you can associate any images you want, and so really you've got complete control of really the main look, the images that you have in this Media Center. The text automatically inherits the colors from your website design, so it will, again, automatically inherit those styles, so it's going to match your design. It also is going to stretch and shrink to fit the available space. So, for example, I've got a wide page here, and I've got the same Media Center that's displaying. And you'll notice here, everything just looks a little bit bigger. That Media Center just shrinks and stretches to fit the available space where you've placed it. I'm going to jump back to that media homepage. And one question you might be asking is, hey, I see how there's images here, but do I have to have unique images for each one of my media resources? The answer to that is no. If a series does have unique images, they'll show like this. But if a series, let's say you don't want to go to all that work to create different unique images for each message, if you don't have an image for each message, it's just going to appear in a list view like we're looking at here. So a great way to make it simple for you to get up and get started. Another question you might have is, as you've seen, some of the resources I've looked at have video, but you might be a church that doesn't want to use video or isn't in a location that's conducive to filming, so on and so forth. Will this Media Center work for me if I'm not using video? The answer is yes, it will. We've paid particular attention to that. For example, I'm going to click on this recent message here, and if you don't have a video, it goes right to the audio version. You'll see a little audio player here, and notice there's no video button, just an audio version. So we've designed this with churches with video or audio in mind. Another question you might be asking is this video or is this Media Center flexible so I can put it on a mobile device? I want my church visitors to come and be able to, on their smartphone, look at the Media Center there. That's actually one of the most exciting features that we've been able to put together. I'm going to bring up a mobile page. Now, I'm not using an emulator, so you're just going to have to pretend you're in a smartphone, and this is the width of the screen that you're viewing. But were this a mobile phone, and you place the Media Center on it, on our default mobile page, which is what I'm using, you'll see the 4 most recent messages. They're here up at the top, and the series are here right beneath it, scrolls vertically. But when I click on one of the messages, it's going to load the mobile page. Your video's here. But one of the coolest things is when you click on the video and play it itself, this video is going to take up the full screen of your smartphone. And that's especially the case if you're using an outside video from YouTube or Vimeo, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But that makes it easier right from your smartphone to watch a video or listen to audio. It's going to take up your full screen. So we're really excited about some of these mobile capabilities that we've added. Speaking of mobile, the new Media Center is not flash-based at all, so it's going to display well on any iOS devices, on any Apple devices, essentially, on an iPhone or an iPad, iPod Touch, so on and so forth. So I know a lot of you have been looking for that, and that's a feature we're excited to release as well. can I show the most recent messages? What if I want to display Media Center on my site, but I don't want the whole Media Center to appear. I just want maybe a recent message, or maybe several recent messages to appear. We've included an option for the new Media Center to accommodate that. I'm going to click on a page here I've created titled Compact View. And right here on this page, you'll notice here in the bottom left is a compact view of the Media Center. And similar to upcoming events of a calendar, we've created a view of the Media Center where you can choose that either the most recent message appears or up to 4 of the most recent messages appear. So you've got complete control. You can even put this on your home page to feature it, or if you have a subsection of your site for maybe just the youth and you want to show just youth media, maybe the most recent youth sermon, you can do it. And that's an exciting feature and makes this Media Center flexible enough to use it in a variety of locations. It can be in a horizontal format, a vertical format, a quadrant format. We've put a couple formatting options together, and so there's a compact view which really allows you to take advantage of this and have it automatically update on limited spaces on your website. One question I know that probably some of you are thinking is this Media Center flexible enough to sort by something other than series? Our church sorts by month, or we sort by speaker. Can you do that? Again, the answer is yes. You have complete control of the sorting criteria. I've got a separate media library here, and you'll notice here on my page I've changed the verbiage to month, and right at the top you've got the recent media, and I just created a July graphic for my July messages, a June graphic for my June messages, so you can sort by month, you can sort by speaker, you can sort by really any criteria that you wish, but it's all right here for you. And again, a main benefit is since you can add anything into your sermon description, you don't necessarily have to set up different media libraries that are sorted by different criteria. You can just have one, place your speaker name in the description, place your date in the description, or your class name, or whatever it is you want, and it's going to show up right in the search field when someone keyword searches for it. So it really saves you a lot of time in the setup. And really that touches on one last key feature that we feel makes this Media Center very flexible is you can create different sets of media, different libraries of media to appear on different pages in your website. So you can have youth media on one page, maybe you have a men's ministry media on another, your Sunday sermon media on a third page. You can create an unlimited amount of libraries of media, which really maxes out the flexibility of this tool for your church and takes advantage to display your media in a format that's going to be usable and useful for your site visitors. All right, our last goal that I wanted to review is publicity. Again, we wanted to make it easy to find and share your church's media, especially keeping social media in mind. And this new Media Center is built to take advantage of all those social media platforms. I'm going to jump back to my Media Center homepage, and I'm going to click on my first message here. And if you look real close, you'll notice this video player here is actually a video player from Vimeo. The new Media Center is integrated with social media video services like YouTube, like Vimeo, so you can take your video right from YouTube, right from Vimeo, and place it within the Media Center. So we're excited to take advantage of that. Now, of course, just like before, you can continue to upload video or audio files to your website locally and display them within a built-in audio or video player. But again, we think there's some great advantages to using social media. Some of those are, did you ever, for example, try and upload video to your website and you get it up and realize, it's not the right file format, or it's not playing, and trying to figure out what's wrong. Is it a codec? What's happening? One of the main benefits of using a Vimeo or a YouTube or social media is when you upload your files to them, they take care of all the conversion for you, and also they optimize that video for the best file size per video quality. So saves you a lot of time and a lot of work in getting your video to display well on different devices. Another main benefit of social media is being on YouTube and being on Vimeo helps your church's media get found outside of your church's website. So we think that's important. We're all about seeing God glorified here at Elexio and seeing people come to know Christ through the church, and getting your media out there we think is a big part of that. So if you've not considered it before, think about or investigate getting a YouTube channel for your church or a Vimeo channel for your church. There's a lot of great free resources out there and a lot of benefits to doing so. But in addition to video, you can also embed audio from outside sources if your church does that. I'm going to click on a second resource, and here under the audio tab you're going to notice I've actually got a video here from SoundCloud that I've put on here. So you can upload an audio file. You can upload your audio to SoundCloud or embed an audio file from Spotify. Again, you can keep adding your audio to your files area. That'll work just like it did before, but you're able to do this on the audio side as well. And last but not least here in the social media realm, I did want to highlight these social media icons are there, not to link to your Facebook account or to your Twitter account, but for your site visitors to share this resource on social media platforms, so it can get out there and they can share it with their friends in the social media world. And one other item in terms of publicity that is really exciting is this new media center is going to integrate in AmpWave. For those of you who may not be familiar, AmpWave is our smartphone app that's included free with AMP Fusion, our database product. Now this feature isn't quite finished yet. I'm going to click on Media in Wave, and I've got a screenshot here that shows just a couple icons, and it's probably going to appear fairly small for you. But one feature that we'll be releasing in the near future is if you have AmpWave, you can take a media library from your AMP Vive website, show it within AmpWave, and so within that one app, not only can someone view the church directory, do online giving, view their events, but they can also view the church media all within the My Church app within AmpWave. So that's a real exciting feature that we'll be releasing here again in the future for you. All right, well, I'm going to jump back to the Media Center. You've all seen the front view now, and I want to just spend a little bit of time in the administrative interface so you can see how simple that really is to manage. So I'm going to log in to my website here. And now that I've logged in, I'm going to click on Actions, Change Content, and hover over the media block and click it to open. And in the Media Center controls, there's just a few buttons there. I'm going to first click on Edit Selected Media Library, and this is where you can modify the name of your media library. You can choose what it's grouped by series, by month, by speaker, whatever you'd like you can add here. And also, if you'd like to display and make a podcast available, you can insert the URL to that podcast or that RSS feed here. I'm going to click Cancel since this has already been set up, but I'm going to click on Manage Media Library, and here it shows all your series. We've added a little icon here so you can simply hide them. Let's say you want to work on a series, but you're not ready to make it live to the public. You can add it, but make it invisible just by checking this icon. You can also reorder them here just by dragging and dropping to order them right on that home series page. But I'll just show you how simple it is to add one and add a message. I'm going to click on Add Series. I'm going to call this Elexio Sample Series. I'm going to give it a brief description. I'm just going to copy some demo text, some lorem ipsum in here. And I want to select an image for this series. So I'll click Browse. And I've preset up some images that'll work. So I'll just select one from my files area. So I've added my series name, given it a brief description, added an image. Now I'll click Manage Messages in the series. So obviously there's no messages yet. It's a new series, so I'll click Add Message. I'll call this Sample Message. Again, I'll paste my description in there. And I do, in this example, I want to associate a different image for it. So I'll click Browse. I've got a separate image for my, my message here. And to show how easy it is to pull video from outside sources, I've got a Vimeo page up here. All you have to do is copy the URL to your Vimeo page or your YouTube page of that video. Go back to your Media Center and simply paste it in. On audio, in this scenario, let's say I want to choose a file from my website files area that I've uploaded. I'll click Choose a File, click Browse, open Sermon Audio, and just stick an audio file in there. And if you want to add any notes, I'll click Browse, and I've got a sample notes file here, so I'll add it in. So I've really added all the options there are to configure. There's just 6. I'll click Save and Exit for the message, Save and Exit for the series, and I'll click OK. And you'll notice right away my message that I've just added is here. I put a little happy image to the glory of God to display for this, this particular message. And then for my series, I put a fun Elexio icon up here. So it's really just that simple to add a series, add a message to it. When I click on that message, hey, right there's my video from Vimeo that I placed in here. I'll click play. It's going to play. And since it's in Vimeo's player, you can share it right from here. You can blow it up to full screen. And again, take full advantage of those social media resources that are out there. So that's really the administrative interface. One question I'm sure that everyone's probably asking is, hey, when can I get my hands on this awesome tool that Elexio has made available? Well, the answer to that is very soon. By the end of the day on this coming Tuesday, July 23rd, we plan to make it available to everyone. So once it's there, we're obviously going to be sending a mass email out to everyone just to alert you again, hey, this new media center is out there, take advantage of it. And to add it to a page, hover over Actions, click Change Content, go ahead and click and Continue. And on the Add Block screen, under the Media tab, there's going to be a new block available called the Media Center block. You'll see it here. So just add that block to a page, and you'll have this new Media Center right there on your particular web page. We're also making some great help resources available. I'm recording this webinar, so this resource will be out here. You can listen to it again if you'd like. And there is an article we've put together already on how to add the Media Center to a page, how to manage your media. And we expect to add a couple more articles as well. We'll be looking for some feedback. I'm sure there's some frequently asked questions or questions that you have that we'll want to make sure that we address. So under specific types of blocks and media blocks, there's going to be a Media Center section that's actually already there where you can look at the documentation. You'll probably see an FAQ page. And of course, you can always just keyword search Media Center, and it's going to take you right to this article. So a few of you, and probably many of you, if you're Vibe website owners, may be using MediaRush and might be thinking, hey, I've got MediaRush now. How do I transition from using MediaRush to this new Media Center? What's the best way to do so? We won't be taking MediaRush away. You'll still have access to that for free if you're a current Vibe client. And what we recommend, and especially to save you a lot of time, is probably to populate the Media Center with maybe just your last couple weeks of messages, or if you work on a series or by month, couple last series or two, or last month or two. And instead of re-adding everything to it, we think, and our best suggestion is just add a couple weeks and leave MediaRush as an archive. Link to it as an archive page. The main reason why we're suggesting that is MediaRush and this new Media Center, the paradigms are so different that even if we would and could convert all of your media, there's still going to be a lot of individual tweaking. The image sizes are all different, and so we think it's probably going to be easiest for you just to add a couple resources and get started with it fresh. Now, we are evaluating conversion tools and seeing if that's advantageous to be able to create something that's going to work well for you, but really we think that's going to be your best option to get started and allow you to help quickly get started with the new Media Center. So again, that's really the basics for for this media center that I wanted to cover. I know our team has been sending me a couple of questions here, and I want to take a look at them just 1 minute as I review those. And one question I see here we've gotten from some of our participants is, hey, why did Elexio decide to create a new media center when you have the Infinity Media Center? That's a great question. Part of our main reason for doing that is the Media Rush, the media player or the video player itself is flash-based. And so even if you add an MP4 video, it's not going to display on a iOS device, on an iPhone or an iPod, an Apple mobile device. That was one of our main reasons we wanted to recreate something new. Additionally, we spent a lot of time looking at key churches around the United States and around the world, how they presented media, and here brainstorming how can we make it more simple to present media. And we think this new media center is an excellent way to make it even simpler than Media Rush, not just for your site visitor, but for the website administrator. And again, I see a couple questions out there about Vimeo and YouTube. All you need to do for Vimeo, again, and YouTube to get started is just copy your Vimeo URL, and under Actions, change content, open your Media Center, and it'll take me a couple clicks to get there. I'm going to go into a series, manage the messages, and simply paste that Vimeo URL or that Facebook URL right here. You don't need to know any HTML. You can just paste the URL to that Vimeo or YouTube file here, and it's going to work for you. So very simple. And again, while I'm here, I do want to stress that you can continue to use your native video files that are uploaded locally to your site. So if you don't want to use Vimeo, you don't want to use YouTube, that's totally okay. Simply upload your MP4 files to your website files area. They'll play. Of course, you can still use FLV files if you wish. We don't necessarily recommend it since Flash video doesn't work on an iDevice. So MP4 would be the format you'd want to use if you're using locally hosted videos. And another question I see here is, can you give more detail on podcast setup? Media Rush does the podcast setup. That's a great question. This Media Center does not put together a podcast for you simply because when you're integrating with Vimeo or YouTube, they don't provide you a direct file path to the file, which is required for a podcast. So there's a couple great options for you. There's a lot of great third-party software out there for podcasts, which is quite robust. But we also provide in the file gallery block the ability to create a podcast. All you'll need to do is create a file gallery block and set it up to pull all the files from a folder in your website files area. That folder should hold your audio files, and it will automatically create a podcast for you. Upload that audio file to that specific folder. It's going to be in that podcast, and from the file gallery page, it will give you a URL that you can grab and place here in the podcast URL field. So again, in the file gallery block, set it to pull from your folder in your files area that holds your audio files, and take that URL under Edit Selected Media Library, paste it here, and that podcast URL is going to be linked to from the simple podcast icon right on the home screen. Excellent. Well, those are the primary questions that I wanted to go over today. And again, we're excited to release this to you again by the end of the day on Tuesday, July 23rd, next Tuesday. Everyone, I'm sure you probably have some further questions that you might want to ask. If you're like me, you'll probably get off the webinar and think, I forgot to ask this. If that happens to you, let us know in a support request, or as you begin using this Media Center. If you come across any suggestions, please let us know. We love your feedback. That helps us get better, and really we love to take advantage of any ideas that you have. So send those ideas in a support request. We'd love to consider them. And again, we're excited to see this released and have this to you again by the end of Tuesday on the 23rd. Well, thank you everyone for joining this webinar, and look forward to continuing to partner together to work both on the web and database world, ultimately to help people come to know Jesus. Thanks, and have a great rest of the day.